One, two, three, four.
We've got two amazing blues world rock musicians in the house. And obviously, we have the WOFM 99 specials today, okay? This entire month, actually. So we're going to be bringing in exclusively the artists that have been selected and who are featured on our Breakthrough Artist 2 album, part 2 of the Breakthrough Artist album. It's our flagship album from WOA, and most of the artists on the album are Billboard charting acts, top 100 UK official charting acts, iTunes number ones, Grammy nominees, all of that stuff. And we have none other than Aldrich Benson. Guys, how you doing? Right, so we got Michael on the left and Bob on the right. Bob's in the studio. Michael's by his pool, I think, with deers all around. So hopefully we can get a couple of deers.
Like a waiting pool.
Aldrich Benson, guys, if you don't know Aldrich Benson, they're now official top 10 Billboard blues album charting acts. How cool is that, man? How cool is that?
Yeah, not bad.
That's freaking great. You have been very successful with blues and world as well, actually. But tell me more about the blues stuff that you guys doing. How did you find it, when you had to make a decision to move from what you guys were usually doing, your rock and your world and all that stuff. And then when we sort of mutually said, you need to push blues. How easy was it for you guys to just get into blues? Was it tough to change that genre, or was it just inbuilt, like you guys always had it?
Personally, I'd kind of grown up with the 1-4-5 blues thing, so it was kind of always in my
Right.
wheelhouse.
Right.
Mike, he's just a rocker from way back. He can do anything.
Yeah.
Mike, what do you think of the blues?
Well, it was a brand new genre for me, to be honest, other than, kind of growing up in Bob's blues shadow.
Right.
So, it was interesting to me, but, I'm a lyricist first. The music always guides me that way. And Bob kind of started writing some music because it wasn't in my wheelhouse, and it allowed me to just kind of apply my magic.
But I think blues for guys like us comes easy because it's the foundation of everything we do, right? Like if you think about rock, if you think of even pop for that matter, blues and jazz is what it comes from. Not jazz, but at least blues for sure, I think,
And I always like, the horns and,
Yeah.
So I guess that'd be more R&B kind
Right.
of blues.
Right.
So I've always loved that whole sound.
Yeah.
I love that.
Just trying to hold this camera.
The
so it
camera's
doesn't
steady, yeah.
go under. I mean, it's like weightlifting for an hour here.
That's what I said. You should have had a tripod, man. This is going to be tough for you. It's going to be like, oh my God, it's good. What are those exercises you do in the gym where you hold your weights at a certain angle for 10 seconds or something, right? You're doing that.
Yep, exactly. The shoulders start shaking, and everybody say, "Man, the guy's detoxing right on screen."
Two rock guys, these guys look like they've been on the road a while.
And there it is. The camera's shaking like hell. What's wrong with you, Michael?
Okay, Michael, talking about being on the road, you were on your first official UK tour. Okay, and I must say that a lot of people had some great things to say about you. The fact that when they'd be like, Michael, you're up, you just go up with your guitar and sing with the free, what's that word they use? Free abandon? Is that a word? Or you just go
That
up
would
there.
be it.
Yeah, you're just doing your thing, and you didn't give a damn if it was like two rock bands in front of you or behind you or whatever. It didn't matter. You just went and did your thing. I think that was amazing what you did, And it reminded me a little bit of what I did in 2013 when I was booked for my first official US tour, right? And so I did Cafe WOA in New York, and every New York gig I did was all acoustic singers, and so it was fine. I could just gel in or what. I was headlining, but I was still within the same sort of genres because I was doing unplugged or backing tracks. And then I go to Whiskey A Go Go in Los Angeles, and every band is a freaking hard rock band, right?
Right.
And they put my name as headlining.
Well, you'll resonate with this because what you do to be able to manage that transition is, I'm not playing for anybody else but me.
Right.
So, that's what it comes down to. When I got up there, I didn't know who was ahead of me or who just got off stage. It was like, I'm just doing it for what I love to do, which is just to get up there and do the songs.
And that's a great lesson to give young acts or new acts who are going on the road. You know, you don't. If you, for example, when you go on tour, you'll get some gigs like festivals where it's packed with a lot of people, like you did. You know, there were a lot of people there, which actually we'll come to that. Which you actually hit the charts while you were on tour, which was thanks to your performances. So Bob, you got to say thanks to Michael, man. You guys got number one.
I thank him every day for letting me ride his coattails.
Now, if I could just get that payment that you promised me.
Well, yeah, if I was done with my wife. That's good.
And what you said is absolutely correct. You're singing for yourself. You're feeling that passion, your songs, you know.
And you do it without expectation because it's
Yes,
your passion.
exactly.
You follow your passion without expectation.
True.
It usually works out really well.
What's about the song that's going to be on the Breakthrough Artists album?
You know what is this song, Michael?
What is this song, man? Tell us about it.
Okay. In a nutshell,
Yeah.
We decided that we were going to do something different.
Okay.
We contacted you and said, you know, do you want something new or something recycled?
Yeah.
And we decided we're going to do something new. And so Bob came to me with a massive composition musically and threw down the gauntlet and said, write some lyrics to that.
Okay.
Bob, what is that weird beat or time signature you had attached to it? Because it threw me for a loop.
So it's a slow blues.
Yes, I know.
So it's a 48 bar blues as
48.
opposed to a 12 bar blues, and it's 3/4 time.
Wow.
So you have to really kind of get the feel of it. You know, I heard this in the car.
Yeah.
My wife and I were driving, and I heard this old song was
Yeah.
like randomly playing off my wife's phone.
Okay.
And I said, wow, man, I just love this. It was this live, slow blues.
Okay.
So, you know, I'm going to go home and, you know, and just write that backing track. And so I wrote this big thing. And I was thinking, you know, I could throw some lyrics at it, but, you know, hell, I suck at that. So I literally sent it to Mike and said, let's just make this a challenge.
Yeah.
Write a song to these tracks.
Cool.
And what Mike came up with is phenomenal. I mean, it is literally, I think it's the best thing we've ever done.
What's the song
It's
called
Deja
again?
Vu.
Deja Vu.
It's a slow blues.
Nice.
Deja Vu started to, like a lot of my songs, I have to hear the music first, and then suddenly a word or a phrase comes to me, or I see the video. And in this case, I got all of it. And I saw the video of this woman in a smoky bar when I first opened the door, and it was Deja Vu. And the story goes on from there.
Really cool.
You know, because we did the song like 6 months ago,
Right.
and then it was kind of shipped off. We kind of just forgot about it.
Right.
And then literally in the last couple of weeks,
Yeah.
you know, we started hearing, the record's going to come out.
Right.
I went back and listened to it. And I go, my God, this is a great song. I mean,
Exactly.
I was blown away
Yeah.
by what we had done. Just a couple of yahoos in the Northwest. So I think it's going to age well. It really
That's great,
sounds good to me.
It's your legacy, isn't it? You know, getting out great tracks, and because that's Aldrich Benson is going to be that music.
With a lot of our songs, Bob has been given kind of free rein to create these melodic intros and that sort of things. And there have been times when, you know, they've had to be kind of cut down just because you lose your listeners unless they're just purists.
Correct.
So this particular song is going to be a challenge for listeners to stay with it until it hits the first words, because it's a lengthy intro, but it's one that put out by itself. People gave us a lot of thousands of likes, just Bob playing that musical intro, which permeates the entire song.
But I have a solo in the middle. Again, it's, you know, the 48 bars, so it's a pretty lengthy solo.
Okay.
I do a little harmony solo in there as well with two guitars.
Nice.
I'm using my old Ibanez solid body that I've had forever.
Okay.
And
Not a hollow body. It's a solid.
no, solid body.
Nice.
And you know, I learned from you that I gotta make sure I gotta have that input on my amp simulators turned up.
There you go.
You know, so we don't get that wimpy Aldrich Benson guitar sound you accused us of. You know, so.
Sorry, man. Sorry.
But we took that in a nice way.
You hate me for that, right? Unfortunately,
No,
you know when
it was a learning moment.
You know when
I went back and said, "Wow, yeah, that input is really turned down."
did I say
It's
that
like when you're going to get, it's It's like when you get spanked by your dad and he says, this is going to hurt you more than it hurts me.
Listen, man, I'm a producer, okay? I'm gonna fucking tell you if it's Wimpy Guitars, I'm gonna say it
Oh
out
no,
loud.
we're up for the pain. Trust me.
But you know what? It sounded like a single coil Stratocaster, that song that I was talking about. Did I say it out loud on a show that was Wimpy Guitars? I didn't, did I? I just told you that.
No, you told me that directly.
Now you're the one who said it out loud. It's not my fault. You're the one who said it now to the public.
All right, boys, that's enough. Break it up.
That has to be the worst sounding guitar I have ever heard.
Listen, Bob, you
Maybe
gotta
that wasn't an
stop
exact quote,
yourself.
but I think it was close.
Stop
Well,
it, Bob.
let's be honest. It's because we have $12 worth of gear. Ollie's got 12,000.
That's my
So
point.
that was on that blues album.
Yeah.
It was the song "The Postman Always Ring Twice."
Yes.
He ended up
Yes.
producing it, changing the guitar sounds,
Yeah.
and
the
adding
drums.
drums.
Okay, listen.
It turned out fantastic.
Yeah, but it was still your guitars. I just simply, I don't know if you can see this. There's a Kemper here. Bob, I've been telling you to get yourself a Kemper.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I looked it up. I know exactly what it is.
Yeah. But speaking of Kemper, sorry, Michael, you're going to be like, what the hell are they talking about? There's this new
I'm a shadow in the studio. I got it.
the Iridium from Strymon, right? It's a little tiny thing that you can use live as well. But man, it's just 3 amps and 3 sounds per amp, and it's so amazing. And if it's someone like you and me who don't want to mess around too much with 100,000 amplifiers through the Kemper, you just get this little thing, and I use it on all my tours and my gigs. It just gives you all those basic sounds, right? The Fender, the Marshall, and the Vox, and it is authentic. It's not just a copy. It's literally, it sounds like a blackface.
Yeah, it's a modeled sound.
Oh my God, man! It's even better than a Kemper, I would say, for certain things, not everything. But
Yeah, so my wife wants a covered patio,
Yeah.
and she said, "Yeah, fuck the Kemper." I think that was your exact quote.
Wow.
either the patio
I
or the
want a
Kemper.
woman just like that.
Just because Mike has actually been working on a book.
Oh,
He's
really?
writing a children's book.
No way, Mike.
He's
That's
working with editors,
amazing.
he's working for publishers. So we got to get him, dialed back into music.
Beautiful. But dude, that is amazing. A lot of singer-songwriters that I personally know are writing books. Like one of my friends, Richard Simpson. I don't know if you heard the last chapter. Yeah, he just I inspired him to write the book, by the way. I was a big inspiration to him
Cool.
because he wrote these 3 songs like a trilogy, right? And I just said it out. I said, Richard, you should write a book on this because it's got so much stuff. It's like a story that people would love to read further into, And he started writing. He just started writing. 4 years it took him. He wrote a fantastic book, got a publishing deal. Book's out now. Barnes and Nobles and everything. Like absolutely
Yeah.
amazing. I was just inspiring to see that, And songwriters
Yep.
really should do that sometimes, just give it a try, man, right? And Michael, fantastic, man. Congrats on writing a book, bro.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, been in my head for 15 years, and
Fantastic.
one day I woke up and said, "This is going to get on the paper. It's going to go to
Yeah.
a publisher, or I'll self-publish."
Yep.
And I'm done with it. I just have to go through all the technical stuff to get it to that
Cool.
final phase of distribution and get it out there, just like
Well,
you're talking about.
Proofreading is done.
So anyway,
Proofreading.
yeah, I
Okay.
took a step back. I'm still kind of in my step back mode, but
Okay.
we do music like drinking water, so
Yeah.
it'll be there when I'm ready to get back in the
Right.
saddle.
Yeah, it's not really something you lose, forget how
Yeah.
to do.
Wow.
But bottom line is, all that's behind me. I'm really just doing the technical stuff, which is also very time consuming. And
Excellent.
then, we've got songs stacked up to
Cool.
do.
And
or
then, of
not
course,
do.
our golfing tour, we're on the PGA, so we got to have time for,
Oh, for God's sakes, Bob, let it go.
Well, is that your dream, Bob? Is that your dream? To join the PGA, the PGA tour.
to be able to golf like that. Absolutely.
He's going to be
Not
another
be on
John
the tour,
Daly.
but-
So who's the
He's
better
gonna be
golfer? Huh?
like
Who's the better
another
golfer?
John Daly.
Oh,
Out
John
there
Daly,
with his
really?
martini and a cigar in his mouth, hitting those 206
All right.
yard drives.
Speaking of cigars, Bob, do you smoke cigars? Do you?
I do.
And Michael,
Yep,
Yeah.
we're aficionados.
I wanted to ask you: is it easy to get Cohiba cigars? in America? Is it easy to get it, or is it like still?
Cohibas you get, but they're going to be made in the Dominican or Nicaragua because we still have a ban on anything Cuban in the United States.
Right. So it must cost a lot if you do get it, like in the black market or something, right?
Well, you can go up to Vancouver, British Columbia, which is just north of us. You can buy them there.
Nice.
Mike used to have a house in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, so we buy him down there.
Cool.
Yeah, that was an easy, but if you get caught with them, you get a huge fine, and obviously they take them away. But it's illegal because we have an embargo against everything coming out of Cuba.
Yeah, the reason I brought it up is because in Portugal, I just walked into this smoke shop. You've got cohibas all over the place, and they're cheap as chips, right? I mean, compared to what they cost.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. All I'm doing now is buying cohibas. Yeah, I'll take a pack. I'll take a pack.
You got to try. You got to try some macanudos. Those are also very great.
Oh, you got to message me, Mike. Let me know those names. I'm gonna go check them out.
Yeah, macanudo. Yeah, I'll message it.
Okay.
As I said, you got to follow your passion, and some days it switches like a switch, and you follow it, and then when it's done, it's done, and you move back to the other passion list.
Can you give us an idea of what the book's is about, or you want to keep that complete?
Sure. No.
Go on, man.
It's written for the parent who has a special needs child who is going to inevitably one day be asked the question by their child, "Why am I different?"
Right.
And I do it through the metaphor of a turtle who's born without a shell.
Paul,
it is very well written. Wow. I mean, this is obviously Mike's background. I don't know if you know what he did prior to music, but this was his brain. This is what he does.
Yeah, so the name of the book is Slider, A Turtle Without a Shell, A Hero's Journey.
I think you're going to get a publisher for this kind of a book.
I'm pretty sure he will.
Yeah.
It's very well written.
Yeah, I don't think you need to self-publish something like that. I think people are going to jump on it, man.
Yeah.
Just the concept.
We'll give it a shot.
Just the concept is so interesting. I can imagine if Bob's saying it's written well, and Bob's not a bullshitter, he'd be like, tell you on your face.
And Bob's an idiot.
He's a golfer, damn it.
He'll tell you like it is.
All right. If this were my book, I would take out a 5 wedge and beat it. Ollie, I have a question for you.
Yeah, go for it, man.
You mentioned when you're doing podcasts and that people should interact, send their comments about what you liked and disliked. Do you collect those so that artists could go back and kind of look at what people are commenting on in terms of your songs and that sort of thing?
I do get personal emails from fans, like they write in and stuff. A lot of them I wouldn't want to share because they've got titty pics and stuff, so I don't want you to see those.
Oh, come on.
We do get comments.
Bob does that all the time.
Yeah, but the fans we have, they're not going to send you instructive comments. You know what I mean? They'll be like, "Oh, I like this song. Oh, I like that song, or whatever." Oh, that's really cool. Play more music by these guys. That kind of. What was that first song we did together that we put on the World Beat project? Be With You, wasn't it?
Be the one.
Be the one. I always forget the name of that one. And all those.
It has all the Indian. All the kind of that Indian influences and the big gong.
Oh yeah. That was a song that you guys got a lot of feedback from. That song in particular from our guys, from our partners, plus listeners as well. But me personally, because my first album had some of that, right? I Like It album had tablas and sitars, very subtle. Yours was much more prominent, but that really attracted me to you guys, like what you guys were doing.
That was a great song. I still like that song. I mean, it went through so many different versions to finally end up in that latest version. Yeah.
On that note, guys, we're gonna play Aldrich Benson's brand new single, Deja Vu, 48 bar blues. That's the first time I've heard that one. 48 bar blues.
Because I counted it out, it was 48 bars.
I know. It's still 12 bars, It's still 12 bars. You've just done it and repeated it.
So, times 3.
Times 3.
4.
Times 4. It's times 4 times 3. All right. So here goes, guys. Deja Vu. Bob, Michael, thanks for being on the show, man. It was great. I like this video setup. It was really cool. We should do this again.
Yeah, great.
We should do it again.
All right, we're up.
Man, it's always a pleasure chatting with you.
Right on, Bob. It was great chatting with you again. And last time we chatted, you had just come back from your European trip, right?
Yep.
And now Michael's back from his UK trip. Well, it's been a while, but still.
It's been a while.
So you both have across the pond, as they say, and they've come back home.
But there's always memories. Yeah.
Right on. On that note, here is Deja Vu. Right, folks. See you soon, and be sure to tune in and catch the album on the 31st of May. I'm not sure if it'll be available to everybody on the 31st of May, but keep an eye out. Right on. Is that a plane going over your head, Michael? I can hear it here.
Yes, it is.
Cool. That's our cue.
They're dropping napalm as we speak.
Right on.